Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Channel 69 News, your home of sport and weather, broadcasting through Buzz's World of Sport on YouTube and coming in your ears through Spronarium Radio. This is your weekly roundup of all the hottest action. Your top stories, and well, there can only be one, can't there? England laid to rest the ghosts of 55 years beating the old enemy and reaching the semi-finals of the European Championships. Let's dive into the action. But first, let's hear from our boxing correspondent of the Fox, Mittoo, first.
Thanks, Daniel. This is of the Fox, Mittoo with your weekly boxing updates. First, what I wanted to talk about was last week was the Guido Vernello fight versus Marlon Williams. In this fight, you knew he was going to win. I mean, Guido was hitting Marvin Williams, but Marvin weren't hitting him back. And you just had a feeling that he was going to get stopped because he just took too much punishment, He took too much punishment, and you could see it was going to get stopped. Within the first round, after he'd been put down a couple of times, he went back to his corner at the end of the first round. But for some reason or the other, they let him out again. And they let him out, but the referee decided not to let it go on. So really, it should have got stopped in the first round, really, because he got hit a few times and you could see he didn't want to carry on. But, the cornermen were going to let him back out to fight again. And, they did let him out to fight again, but then the referee decided not to let him fight in the second round. So really, it should have been stopped in the first round rather than let it carry on and then get stopped in the second round because, he took enough, and you could see that, he had enough. He had enough in the first round. Then, secondly, I want to talk about the Vasyl Lomachenko v Masashi Nakatani at lightweight. That was a very, very good fight also, Masayoshi was a very good fighter, come forward fighter, and even though he was throwing, Lomachenko's game plan was fantastic. The way he boxed and, he moved and he attacked. It was a really good fight. I mean, that went up to the 9th round. I mean, it was quite competitive at the first few rounds, but after, say, about the 4th round, it started to go the other way, where Lomachenko took over and he knocked him out in the 9th round. But that was also a good fight also. Very, very good. I really enjoyed it, the way it took off. He was doing very, very well. He done very well. And then next fight was Gervonta Davis v Mario Barrios. I mean that Gervonta is just so amazing to go through super featherweight, lightweight, super lightweight. I mean, the guy he was fighting was a very good champion. He weren't no pushover. He was a very good champion. And you could see the guy was bigger than him, but, he held his own. It was quite a competitive fight. I think, it was close. It was a close fight, It was a very, very close fight. He hit the guy a few times, it was and the guy hit him back a few times. But the fella was a very good fighter. Mario Barrios. He was a very good champion. Very, very good champion. But he got put down a couple of times. In the earlier rounds, but in the 9th round, he went down and he didn't get back up. But I think Gervonta will probably do better to stay at lightweight. I wouldn't go any higher than super featherweight. Well, super featherweight. It'd probably be better to stay at between lightweight and super featherweight, because even though he did win the fight. It was a very, very hard fight. And as you go up in weight and treat going up in weight, it's going to be very hard because I always say a big, good fighter will always beat a small, good fighter. So it's probably better for him to stay at the lighter weight rather than the heavier weight. So I'd say if he stay between sort of lightweight or super featherweight, he'll do better. Once they go up in weight, the guys get bigger, and it's not easy to knock him out. I mean, he's done a good job against the guy he fought, but it weren't an easy fight. He stopped the guy in the 11th round, but yeah, it was a very good fight, and he done very well. But in my opinion, he shouldn't go to any more. He shouldn't go up higher in weight than what he is because it's just going to be too hard for him. Last fight, what was another good fight was Erickson Lubin versus Jason Rossano. Jason Rossano. Erickson Lubin v Jason Rossano. That was another good fight again. It was a very, very good fight. But I knew he was going to win. You knew he was going to win after a few rounds again. I think it was a 6-round body shot to the body, and he stopped the fella. But again, it was a good fight. Enjoyable. And so that's it for this week. I hope everybody have a great weekend and take care. Now back to the studio.
That was Arv the Fox Mittoo with his boxing update. Always a pleasure to hear from Arv. Great work, pal. Now to football. Now there's a lot to get through, so I'll do my best to not ramble through it all as much as possible. But Monday, so Spain take on Croatia in the first round knockout games, and what a game it was. Spain imposed the game in the first 20 minutes, but it was Croatia who struck the first blow, but it was the Spanish player who turned it into their own net. Spain levelled the game close to half-time in the 38th minute, so it was 1-1 at the break. Spain came out on the second half and dominated possession and took a goal lead through Chelsea's Azpilicueta on the 57th minute, and Man City's Torres on the 76th minute made it 3-1. However, Croatia fought back and made it 3-2 on the 85th minute. And deep into injury time, a great cross and a header from Paslic levelled the game, taking it to extra time. 5 minutes into extra time, and Croatia missed a huge chance to go ahead with a fantastic save from the Spanish goalkeeper, one-handed from 7 yards out. It was a game changer because 10 minutes into extra time, a great cross to the back post where Morata was waiting. He brung the ball down on his chest and he smashed it home with his left foot volley, leaving the keeper with no chance, making the score 4-3. Right in the stroke of extra time, half-time, Spain go 5-3 up with a nice left-footed shot slotted into the bottom left-hand corner. Spain hit the post in the second half of extra time, but they comfortably see the game out. First time in 9 years they've won a knockout match since they won the Euros. So good omens for Spain. So they're now into the quarterfinals. The next game was the later game kickoff as France against Switzerland. After France running the first 15 minutes, it's Switzerland who took the lead with a smart header from Susik right against the run of play. It really was. Switzerland in the first half looked calm and measured with their build-up and well worth the lead. France huffed and puffed but couldn't land a blow, and Switzerland's back line never backed down. So France were 1-0 at the break, a big surprise for Switzerland. The second half saw a rash challenge from France inside the penalty area. It was not given. However, the ref was asked to review it, and VAR does its job very well. But penalty was saved from Lloris. Read it well down to his right and kept it out. That's football for you, isn't it? 2 minutes after missing a pen, France levelled the game with a goal. Calm finish by Benzema with what was an outrageous touch from behind him with his left foot. If you get a chance to watch it, the ball was played behind him and he somehow dragged it back in front of him, and then he slotted it over the oncoming goalkeeper. It was a fantastic finish. 2 minutes later, he does it again with a simple header from 2 yards out at the back post. Great slick passing to get in the box and a simple tap in for him. So that puts the game into 2-1 into France's favour, and then 3-1, Paul Pogba with a stunning 30-yard strike right in the top bins. It was unbelievable and should be game over. Another twist, though, as the Swiss worked the ball down the right. great cross in, and then right on the number 9's head, 6 yards out, and it flies home. So it puts it to 3-2 and puts the pressure on France. But it really is a cruel game at times. With 2 minutes to go, the Swifts have the ball in the net, but it's marginally offside. And I mean, we're talking very, very, very close. But my word, lightning does strike twice with a great individual goal and great right-footed drive into the bottom left-hand corner in the 89th minute. Unbelievable scenes, 3-3. So 3-3 in the game, and just incredible. Almost the winner for France, though, with a great cross to the back post, chested it down, and a smashing right foot volley crosses off the bar. And then we go to extra time. So, extra time, great opportunity for France. Great 20-yard through ball down the left-hand side into the box, and he smashes it wide. He should be scoring those goals. Sums up the night for Mbappe. You know, he really didn't have the best night, and it showed on the penalties. So the penalties, every player scoring goes up 5-4 to Switzerland. Mbappe steps up, puts the ball on the spot, and it's a great save from the Swiss goalkeeper, and the Swiss fans, players go absolutely mental, and they won 5-4. So that's them through to the next round. Then we go on to Tuesday night, the big one against the old enemy. England take on Germany at Wembley, looking to lay the rest of the ghosts of 55 years and never beaten them in a knockout game. The first half was very conservative. Both teams really trying to work each other out. Came with the best chance of the half when he found himself bearing down on goal after a ricocheted pass played him in. He tried to take it round the keeper with one touch instead of maybe taking it first time, but by the time he touched the ball, it was too far away from him. The goalkeeper dived out and he smothered the ball. So it was 0-0 at the break, and there wasn't really much in it. The second half all changed when the much-in-demand Grealish came on. Saka was the man who was replaced on in the 69th minute, and then 6 minutes later, Sterling picked the ball up on the right wing, drove between two German players. He played the ball into Kane, who dropped it off to Grealish. Grealish to then knock it out to Shaw. Shaw plays a lovely pass in, fired it low into the box, and there we was, Sterling to slot it home and sent the Wembley crowd into raptures. 55 years of pain just flooded out in pure joy and emotion, and I was one of them. The hero nearly turned villain, though, as a sloppy pass on the halfway line was cut out and a quick through ball to Muller was bearing down on goal with only Pickford to beat. The Free Lions keeper stayed on his feet as long as possible, and unbelievably Muller dragged his shot wide. It looked much easier to score, but well done to Pickford for staying on his feet. And that could have been game-setting match at 1-1, and because we all know what history says with Germany. But then in the 86th minute, Rice is on the pitch with cramp. Shaw steps into midfield, wins the ball high up, plays a lovely ball down the left to Grealish, looks up with an inch-perfect left-footed fired cross straight onto Kane's head, and he finally finds the back of the net. 2-0, the game is over. England fans go mad. The scenes in all the parks, the scenes in the ground, the scenes on the bench, the scenes with the players, just unbelievable. 2-0 through to the quarterfinals, just unbelievable scenes. Then in the late kickoff, Sweden take on Ukraine. After a hard-fought 1-1 in 90 minutes, Ukraine broke Swedish hearts in the last minute of extra time with a goal with an excellent delivery from the left wing met by Djokovic, who headed the ball brilliantly into the far corner, sending his team through to the quarterfinals against England on Saturday. So we're really looking forward to that game, weren't we? Friday saw the first round of the quarterfinal matches being played. So that was the first round knockouts all sorted. We're now into the quarterfinal game. So Switzerland v Spain was first up. Spain took an early lead in the 8th minute with a deep corner found itself to Jordi Alba, and his left-footed volley deflected off Zikora, leaving the keeper no chance as it flew into the net. It was a harsh goal on Switzerland. However, hatful of missed chances by Spain to punish them in the 68th minute as a mix-up between two Spanish defenders down the left-hand side saw Fuller steal the ball and drive into the box. He got his head up and squared it to Shaqiri, who slotted it home calmly with his right foot into the far bottom corner. 1-1. Brilliant goal. But then Fuller then turned villain in the 77th minute with a rash two-footed challenge, which gave the ref no option but to show him a red card. Switzerland, however, held on to extra time and took the game to penalties. But it was Spain who revealed and advanced to the semi-finals with a 3-1 win on penalties. I mean, the penalties were shocking. I mean, to win a penalty shootout 3-1 is absolutely crazy. But that's Spain through to the semi-finals. So the late kickoff saw two of the favourites for the competition, especially after their comfortable group wins in the form of Italy and Belgium. It was a ding-dong affair in the first 45 minutes. Barella with a great strike to give Italy the lead on 31 minutes, and then Lorenzo Inzaghi doubled their lead on the 44th minute just before half-time. But in injury time of the first half, Belgium won a penalty and Lukaku stepped up and fired it home to make it 2-1. In the second half, Italy saw the game out with delaying tactics and running down the clock. So they now meet Spain in the semi-final playing on Tuesday night. So now we move into Saturday, and it saw the third match in the quarterfinal knockout games contested between the Czech Republic and Denmark. It was a great first half for Denmark. They took a 2-0 lead through Delaney in the 5th minute and then Dalberg in the 42nd minute, just before half-time. The Czechs came out first in the second half with the impressive Souček firing the deficit to 2-1 after 4 minutes of the restart. However, Denmark saw the game out and are through to the semi-finals to meet either England or Ukraine. So the late kickoff saw England take on Ukraine in Italy, Rome, and what a fast start it was. Sterling picking the ball up deep in the Ukraine half on the left-hand side. He skipped inside, attracting 4 defenders to him, and he slipped in a beautiful ball to Kane, who ran on and sliding in, smashed the ball past the advancing goalkeeper. 1-0 to England. But they nearly shot themselves in the foot again with some lazy football as they give the ball away cheaply to Yamashek. And he was through 1 goal, but Pickford with a comfortable save down to his right-hand side, put it out for a corner. Rice had a powerful 25-yard strike saved. It was a great strike, and it moved in the air, but the keeper saw it and parried it away, and it went to the break at 1-0. The second half started the same as the first half. England rewarded an early free kick, swung in by Shaw. Harry Maguire met it with full force to head it back where it came from. 2-0. Unbelievable scenes. In the 50th minute, Shaw down the left with an inch-perfect cross to find Harry Kane with a powerful header through the keeper's legs. He makes it 3-0. Henderson came on for Rice because he was on a yellow card. They were just making sure they were protecting the players. Mount with a corner, and Henderson met it with a great header. Flicked it right into the corner. Goal, 4-0. Well and truly over. So the second semi-final in a row for England, for the Three Lions, who will meet Denmark on Wednesday night. One to really look forward to. So that's the world of football. Now let's have an update from our golf correspondent, Trey Shank. Billy the Shank Trey.
Good afternoon. Top of the morning, in fact, as we are talking today about the Irish Open. And, of course, it's a bit of the black stuff to help us get it sorted. Oh, it's fantastic. Cannot beat a nice Guinness. Ireland's famous for it. The Emerald Isle. First, though, we're going to talk about last week's golf. We're going to go back 7 days to the Women's PGA Championship, which was won, as I predicted, in a 2-horse race, mind, out of Lizette Salas and Nelly Corda, by Nelly Corda. We've seen Nelly Corda's brother work wonders at Wimbledon this week. He's through to the next round. He beat a British player yesterday or the day before, I believe. Anyway, Nelly Corda Wimbledon 4 under last round to get her to 19 under. She won convincingly by 3 shots. Her first major. And first and maybe many. She's a very talented girl. Then we'll go back 7 days again. We're going to go back to America, to the Travelers Championship, which was in Connecticut. A very tight run thing this was. It ended up in a playoff. Players that just failed to miss the playoff were Mark Leishman, Abe Hermansa, Kevin Kisner, Brooks Koepka, Brian Harman, my tip, and Hank Lebioda. The actual playoff was between Harris English, who again played a fantastic final round after last week, the week before, I should say, at the US Open, and Kramer Hickok. Now, this playoff is famed now. It went 7 holes. It's a joint second highest amount of playoff holes played, sudden death playoff holes played. Before we got to the 8th playoff hole, and Harris English managed to birdie that, and Kramer Hickok could only par it. So Harris English won his second tournament of the season. Kramer Hickok had some bad luck. He lipped out a couple of times to win the tournament, but it's not to be. Harris English, as I say, went on to win. We'll go back another set to last week's tournament in the European Tour. And this was closer than what I anticipated, mainly due to a fantastic final round by Martin Keimer. At one point, he pulled level before, at the end, just bogeying a hole at the wrong time, and enabled the new superstar of European golf, Victor Hovland, to complete his victory. Only by 2 shots. He only shot a 2 under last round. That's all he needed to, while Martin Keimer shot a fantastic 8 under par round. Martin Keimer's hit a little bit of form. Maybe he's trying to get into the Ryder Cup. But if he does get into the Ryder Cup, it'd be a good thing for the European team, because Martin Keimer's won a major at the course they're playing it at. He won the USPGA there at Whistling Straits. So knows the course, is good on the course, and maybe would be a good pick for our European Ryder Cup team. Playing quite well lately. Played quite well in the US Open the week before, and he's played well last week. Now we're going to go to this week's European Tour from Ireland. Here we are. Guinness again. Lovely pint of Guinness. Oh, it's like milk. Top of the morning to you all. Then from the Northern Ireland, from Thomastown, Mount Juliet, Kilkenny, the Emerald Isle, and we've got quite a close tournament here. There are exemptions for the British Open available to those that haven't already qualified for it. So we have a top border here of players that are within 5 shots of the lead, say. Richie Ramsey of Scotland, Andrew Beef Johnston of England, Jason Scrivener of Australia, Grant Forrest of Scotland, and Andy Sullivan from a course local to me. He plays at the Nuneaton course, which isn't too far from where I'm from. And they're all 10 under. And then another shot above them is Dale Whitnell of England, Robert Karlberg of Sweden, and Francesco Laporta of Italy. They're all on 11 under. A shot ahead of him, theirs, is Justin Harding for the South African, who has won on tour before. 2 shots ahead of him, and a shot behind the leader is Johannes Veerman of the United States. And a shot behind the leader, and he's been a long-time leader, Lucas Herbert of Australia. Good tournament to win this. Some players not too far off the lead. Tommy Fleetwood's playing quite well. He's 9 under. He's sort of 5 off 6 shots off the lead. Good shot, good round today. Could be close. The player that disappointed most is Rory McIlroy. He was doing quite well. He had a good 67 on Sunday. But he shot an over par round yesterday, and he's already out on the course as we speak. 4 under, way off the lead, tied 56. Not going to win this tournament, and that's the Irish Open. Not really going to make a tip here for this because it's so close. I guess I would go for Harding, Justin Harding. On account he's been there and done it. But no real one way or t'other, really. Then we're going to go over to the United States of America, to Hitsville, USA, the Motown, Detroit, where they're playing the Rocket Mortgage Classic. It's another close call here. There's lots within 2 or 3 shots of the lead. But top of the board is Troy Merritt and Joaquin Neiman. Troy Merritt of America, Joaquin Neiman of Chile. They're both on 40 under, followed by Cameron Davis, Hank Lebioda, Brandon Hadji. We also have Kevin Kisner, Richie Wierenski, and Thomas Lewis of England, who's kind of fell off the radar a bit. Who's top amateur in the British Open a few years back. went to US to ply his trade on the PGA Tour. He's done quite well, to be fair. And he's 3 shots off the lead, alongside Pat Perez, Jason Kokrak, and Chris Kirk. Others players in notable contention. We've got Alex Norris not too far off the lead. Neither is Bubba Watson or Keegan Bradley or Ricky Fowler. So that should be a good round today. Not going to predict on that one. If I was to, I'd go for Cameron Davis, the Australian. He's playing pretty well. What else we got now? We've got the big Green Egg Ladies European Tour, which is actually completed. And that was won by Australian Stephanie Kyriakou with an 18 under score of 270 to beat Sanna Newtonen of Finland and Scotland's Kylie Henry. Not many players have played it. It's scarcely attended, as most players are in America at the moment, most of the top players in the world. And so we'll go over there to the American tournament now, to the Volunteers of American Texas Shootout. And we have, again, close call 3 horse races, really. We have Ko Jin Young of South Korea, Esther Henseleit of Germany, and Matilda Castron, all within 3 shots of the lead. The top 3, all within a shot of the lead, and 3 shots further back is Lee of South Korea. Haven't really taken as much attention to this tournament because of the Irish one. But, I mean, Ko Jin Young is the second top player in the LPGA. Probably will win it. Who's to say not? Next week in the US LPGA, they're in the Marathon Classic in the Highlands Meadow Golf Club. And then also in the PGA Tour, they've got the John Deere Classic, which is Deere Run. And in the European Tour, we have the Scottish Open, which is at the Renaissance Club, which is in a fine part of the world, not far from Muirfield and Berwick. So it'll be a links type course, and it should be a good tournament. That to take the mood off golf, we're going to go to cycling and talk about the Tour de France, the biggest bicycle race in the world. We'll talk about the stage winners and what's happened. This race has been dominated by accidents and crashes. We've lost a lot of riders due to injury, including the top sprinter in the world at the moment, Caleb Ewan of Australia. Teams have been decimated by injuries. We've had crashes due to slips and normal bike riding crashes. We also had a crash due to a lady in the crowd leaning over with a sign and being sort of colliding with riders and bringing loads down in the process. So it's been a very eventful Tour de France so far. And the first stage won by the world champion junior Alaphilippe, who then had the yellow jersey. It was taken from him by Mathieu van der Poel, who's another great classics rider from Holland, and he's took that, and then it was Tim Merlier in the third who beat the sprinters. But the romantic story of the race is the comeback from nowhere, really, through illness, debilitating illness, and also not having a team that could contend, and having the train to follow in his team. He rejoined De Koenig Quickstep this year, and now he has that train. And due to injury to Sam Bennett, De Koenig's top sprinter, Mark Cavendish got himself back into the race. Not only that, he's followed on his 30 previous stage victories and taken 31 and 32, and he's now only 2 off the joint top with probably the greatest bicycle rider of all time, Eddie Merckx of Belgium. And now can Mark Cavendish win those 2 stages? Yes, he can. He looks to be the top sprinter in this race. He certainly has the best lead out, and I'd be expecting on the sprint stages for Cav to do that this tour. The last stage into Paris has always won. He's won that quite a few times, and it's a romantic story and fantastic for the lad from the Isle of Man, Mark Cavendish. Tadej Pogačar absolutely dominated the time trial, which is no surprise as he won last year's Tour and he won it at the final stage, which was a time trial. More about him in a second. Mittoo Mohoric won the stage 7, another the Slovenian champion, in fact. And Dylan Turns won yesterday, which was a big mountain stage. But this was where the race may well have been torn apart by the aforementioned Tadej Pogačar, who finished second, but he's gained time on all the general classification contenders who he's competing with for that title. He's now in the yellow jersey. And I've heard today, in the early hours of today, that his Slovenian compatriot, and at the start of the race, joint favourite with Tadej Pogačar of Slovenia, Primož Roglic, has pulled out due to injury. He's had a bad crash. He's soldiered on bravely. It wasn't to be. Other notables to have crashes and are injured. I know Geraint Thomas of the Team Ineos Grenadiers has been riding with a broken collarbone, and lots of others have pulled out. So the Tour de France is what looks like this. Tadej Pogačar leads. In the King of the Mountains jersey, we have Wout Poels, former Team Ineos, but now he's with Bahrain Victorious. In the Green Points jersey, it's Mark Cavendish. The white youngsters jersey, it's also Tadej Pogačar, but he's going to wear the yellow as a preference, because that takes stock. It's the top jersey, and so we've got a big stage today on the Sunday, a rest day tomorrow, and back again. We'll talk about it again next week, alongside the Scottish Open, and also what else is happening next week. The stuff in America, the John Deere, and etc. Anyway, I shall finish this Guinness. Very nice points of black stuff. Top of the morning to you. As I say, I'm going to hand you straight back over to the host with the most, Daniel's Jack, and I shall see you again next weekend when we'll be talking about the British Open the following week. Lots to talk about. Just remember, a slides ain't always nice, but if you shank a lot, you're going to lose your ball, and because your eyesight's going to go. Your balls will be all over the shop. Stop your shanking. Stop your slicing. Everything will be cool. Golf is ace. Ta-da.
Thanks to Billy there of a great golf and cycling update. I forgot that was coming, but it's nice to know the Tour de France is going well, and Mark Cavendish has made a bit of a return because he was a bit of a legend back in the day. But now we'll go to cricket, so to the men's cricket team. A bit of news for Sri Lanka. They've had to send 3 players home for breaking COVID rules, and they're bringing 3 debutants for the first of the 3 contested ODI series out of 50 over matches. And the first one was produced on Tuesday at Chesterley Street, Durham. I was meant to be going, but my ticket got cancelled. Devastated. Sri Lanka lost 3 early wickets and were 3 for 45, but a 4th innings partnership between captain Pereira and Hasaranka. So Pereira 73 off 81 balls and Hasaranka 54 from 65 took India to 145. But some excellent bowling from Willie, 3 for 44 from his 10 overs, and Walks 4 for 18 from 10. Absolutely fantastic figures. And 2 run-outs restricted India to 185 all out. England's response, chasing a small target, Burstow hit 43 for 21. I think he wanted to watch the England game, and that's why he was trying to blast home to that very low score as the game was kicking off at 5 p.m. and it was about 3 p.m. when they started batting. However, England found themselves in 4 for 80 with some poor batting and excellent bowling from Chamira, who took 3 for 50 from his 8 in the end. However, the ever-impressive Joel Root, 79 not out from 87, and Ali, 28 from 57, guided England home with 15.1 overs to spare and took a 1-0 lead in the series. It was a landmark day for captain Joe Root, as it was his 150 cap, passing 6,000 runs and scoring his 34th 50. Incredible stuff. Still a young man as well in batting terms and in cricket terms, so fantastic. We then go into Thursday into the second game. England take on Sri Lanka at the KR Oval. England won the toss and elected to field. David Willey opened the ball in 4 for 64 from 10, and Sam Curran 5 for 48 from 10. Fantastic figures. His first 5 for in one day cricket for England. He was the pick of the bowlers, and they ripped through Sri Lanka's top order. Only the impressive De Silva, 91 from 91, and Shabaka, 47 from 67, with a few more at the bottom of the order, helped Sri Lanka reach 241 for 9. From 5 for 86 they were at one point. So they got to 50. They've actually batted out their full 50 overs for 241 for 9, which is it's a small target for one day. You need to be hitting 300 plus these days. England, in reply, won the game comfortably. Joe Root not out, 68 off 87 balls, and Morgan 75 not out from 83, followed from Roy, who opened the batting with Burstow. Roy 60 from 52 balls, and Burstow 29 from 36, who fell a bit early. In doing so, they sealed the series 2-0 with a game left to play on Sunday, which was looking like it was going to go England's way, because it was now played now. But the rain, I think, has called the game off. But we'll have an update on that next week. And the women's game last Sunday, England's women's first ODI at Bristol. A comfortable win with Shiva 74 not out and Beaumont 84 not out, leading the way with the batters. They won by 8 wickets and 91 balls to spare. India posted 201 for 8 from their 50 overs, with the captain Raj top scoring with 72. Bringing up top with the ball took 3 wickets, and the ever-impressive Eccleston with 5 for 40. Unbelievable figures from Eccleston, left-arm spinner, beautiful. Wednesday, England women again, second ODI at Taunton. England won the toss and elected to bowl, and India were all out for 221. Raj 59 off 92, and Verma at 44 from 55, pick of the batters. For England, Kate Cross 5 for 34 for 10 overs, excellent figures, and Sophie Eccleston again 3 for 33 off 10 overs to restricting England's reply. Chasing Sophia Dunkley, 73 for 81. Lauren Winfield Hill, 42 from 57 balls. And Catherine Brunt, 33 not out from 46, saw England home with 5 wickets and 15 balls to spare to take a 2-0 lead. Fantastic figures from Sophie Eccleston, and Kate Cross getting I think it was her first fifer as well. And England romped to 2-0 victory. Saturday at the New Road 1, India won the toss and elected to bowl. Then they bowled England out for 219. Nat Shiva fallen 1 short of her 50 with 49 from 59 balls. Heather Knight fallen 4 short of her 50, 46 from 71. And Lauren Winfield Hill, 36 from 52. Sharma, the pick of the bowlers, with 3 for 47 from her 10 overs. Fantastic work from India, especially after losing the first 2 games. They had to come back and really put a performance in. India cruised the victory with 4 wickets in hand and 3 balls to spare due to a bit of rain. We only played 47 overs. Raj, 75 from 86. Madana, 49 from 57, and Rana, 24 from 22, the pick of the batters. Eccleston, 2 for 36 from the 10 overs, is the pick of the bowlers for England, but they couldn't stop India. But England won the series 2-1 in the 50-over format. They drew the test match, and that leaves one more game. It's a T20 game next week. So if England win that, they completely win the whole series. But they won the mini-series 2-1 in the 50-over format. Tennis. Wimbledon welcomed full crowds back as they witnessed Emma Raducanu, only 18, defeated Shiona Cristea in straight sets to reach the 4th round. Federer beats Norrie to reach last 16, and Andy Murray's Wimbledon singles knocked out in the 3rd round in straight sets, and he also got knocked out in the 3rd round in the males doubles. So his Wimbledon has come to an end. He says he feels better physically, and it's now time to work hard and get back to playing great tennis again. So we wish Andy Murray all the best, and we hope he does get back to his best. Now, let's hear from Brit Fogland with the weather. Over to you, Brit.
It's Brit Fogland here again with your weather roundup for all the sporting events. Congratulations to England last night. That was an amazing game, and really good to see Hendo getting his first goal for England. Yeah, after that match, I heard from quite a lot of people that I hadn't heard from for a while. There's a lot of drug texting going on. Anyway, thanks for all those amazing texts. Okay, so kicking off then Monday, tomorrow, Wimbledon, men's singles, women's singles, men's and ladies doubles, and the mixed doubles, the final 16s. We've got Feds and Djokovic out on court tomorrow, and Emma Raducanu, our ladies, our ladies hopeful. She's ranked 338, so she's done fantastically well to get this far. She's going to be playing the Australian ranked 75th. So we'll see how she gets on tomorrow. And we've still got British players in the doubles. So lots to look forward to with Wimbledon. Unfortunately, not with the weather, it's going to be 80% chance of rain tomorrow. So they're going to be cantilevering over those roofs. That guy's going to be, they're going to be winding those handles. And the brollies are going to be up. And the Pims is going to be somewhat diluted. Anyhow, that's what happens at Wimbledon. We know this. And then the Copa America at night, we've got the Brazil versus Peru semi at the Estadio Nilton Santos in Rio. Sunny clouds, 43% chance of rain. I've put an upside down sun on it. Yeah. Okay, and then on Tuesday, we've got Wimbledon continuing. So ladies and singles quarters, the men's doubles quarters, and the mixed doubles. It's going to be stormy, so getting worse on Tuesday for Wimbledon, I'm afraid. 92% chance of rain, high of 20, low of 14. So those roofs are going to have to stay over. I don't know if they're going to get any action on those outlying courts, but we'll see. And then the big game on Tuesday for the Euros, we've got the first of those semis, Italy versus Spain. It's going to be raining, so that'll be interesting to see. It's going to be raining at Wembley, obviously. And then the Copa America in the evening, that's Argentina versus Colombia. So Messi out for that one. Well, I think Messi's playing. I don't know. I didn't check. Hopefully he is, and that's at the Mani Garrincha, or the main Garrincha in Brasilia, Brazil. Sunny, so a nice day for that semi. And then no Formula 1 this week, guys, but we've still got wheels for you because the Tour de France is hotting up. That yellow jersey is getting switched around like Billy O, and that's stage 10, Albertville to Valence. They've got, they're in the French Alps. For that stage 10 on Tuesday, and that's sunny clouds, 45% chance of rain, a high of 30, a low of 17. Into Wednesday then, more Wimbledon action, the men's and singles quarters, the men's singles quarters, the ladies doubles quarters, and the mixed doubles. It's drying up, only a 66% chance of rain on Wednesday for Wimbledon, so that's good news, isn't it? And then the Euros, not much happening in the Euros other than that England game versus Denmark, so we'll see how that goes. That's cloudy. I think it's going to be dry on Wednesday for that really, really massive game for England. I think that's it. We can just end the sports there, can't we? So that's the biggest thing that's happening in the week. Anyway, I'll continue telling you about the Egg Ball game. Rugby's happening on Wednesday. So we've got a Summer International, Australia versus France in the Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Overcast, 24% chance of rain. So Brisbane isn't getting much better than us this week. 21 degrees, low of 15. And then Cardiff, lots happening in Wales this week. The under 26 nations again, this time it's on Wednesday. Italy versus Ireland, France versus Scotland, Wales versus England, staying dry, sunny clouds, high of 17, low of 13. So a little bit fresh for the rugby, but you want that, you want that for the rugby. They're running quite a distance. And then the British and Irish Lions, they're having a game with Sharks on Wednesday, and that's over in the Docklands, that Emirates Airline Park. Rain clouds, 64% chance of rain. And then the Tour de France, the wheels keep turning on that. Stage 11, Sorgues to Molosine, sunny clouds, high of 29, low of 17. Thursday then, if anyone's around for any sport after the game on Wednesday, we've got Wimbledon, the women's semis, the men's doubles semis, the mixed doubles, and the wheelchair singles starting on Thursday. So you might just be on the sofa watching that with your hangover. And that's a cloudy day in Wimbledon, but a little bit drier, only 43% chance of rain on Thursday. And then some cricket for you in Cardiff. That's the 3 ODI series, England versus Pakistan. That'll be really good. Cloudy and dry for that one, high of 20, low 14. So a little bit warmer in Cardiff on Thursday. And then loads of golf. Golf day is Thursday, isn't it? So teeing off, we've got the Scottish Open at the Renaissance Club, and that's in Durleton in North Berwick. Sunny clouds, staying dry, high of 18, low of 13. And then the Aramco Team Series, that European Ladies Tour, that this leg is in Hertfordshire, and that's at the Centurion Club. A little bit more of a chance of rain, sunny clouds, 44% chance of rain, high of 22, a low of 15. And then 2 tournaments happening across the pond. The first is the John Deere Classic, and that's in Silvis, Illinois. Sunny clouds, staying dry in Illinois. And then we've got the Marathon Classic at the Highland Meadows Golf Club, and that's in Sylvania, Ohio. Thundery clouds, so they've got a thunder cloud over them. And then spinning again, the Tour de France, stage 12. This time it's Paul Trois Chateaux to Nîmes, so they're heading on down to the Riviera. Sunny, chance of thundery clouds though. It's sticky, so 28 degrees down to just a low of just 17. When you're in a bike and you're pedaling fast, that's warm. And then on Friday, Wimbledon again, we've got the men's semis, the ladies doubles semis, the mixed doubles semis. I don't know how they fit all this in. I know there's a lot of courts, but it's just a massive amount of games. And then the wheelchair singles and doubles, and the quad wheelchair doubles final. So I'll probably watch a little bit of that on Friday, and that's overcast, 40% chance of rain, so drying up as I said, so that's really good news. High of 24, low of 16, so we might actually see some people out on Moneymount for that one. Football, the Copa America, that final to be announced. It'll be somewhere in this big yellow country called Brazil here. The golf, that Scottish Open continuing in Berwick, staying dry with some sun on Friday. Hertfordshire, that European Ladies Tour, Centurion Club, drier, cloudy. And then the 2 tournaments over in the States, the one in Illinois, that John Deere Classic, still staying quite, it's changing. They're getting the rain in Illinois on Friday, and then the one in Ohio is getting the drier day, so they've kind of swapped their weather for that. The rugger, the internationals, we've got South Africa versus Georgia, and that's at the Emirates Airline Park, but this time not over in Docklands, it's this way in Johannesburg, so there's another one, sunny as you would expect for South Africa. And then some athletics happening in Monaco. So South of France are getting a fair bit of action. They get the Tour coming in, the Tour de France coming in, the cyclists coming in, and the athletics. So there's a meet on Friday at the Stade Louis II in Monaco. Nice sunny day, 27 degrees, high, a low of 19. So running around the track with the sun bearing down. And then that tour, as I mentioned before, those bikers coming in, Nimes to Carcassonne, that's on Friday, a sunny day, 31 degrees, so staying really sticky for those cyclists. Okay, so a big weekend obviously for the tennis. Into Saturday, we've got that ladies final on the Saturday, the men's doubles final, and the quad wheelchair singles final and playoff. Drier day, still overcast though, so 23 degrees down to 16. Cricket, we've got England versus Pakistan at the at Lord's. That'll be a good day. Be lots getting themselves over to Lord's for that one. As I said, for Wimbledon it's drier, cloudy. The golf, North Berwick staying dry for that Scottish Open. European Ladies Tour in Hertfordshire, staying dry, cloudy. And then those two, it's going to be rainy for those two tournaments, one in Illinois, one in Ohio, across the pond. Rugby internationals, quite a few games happening on Saturday then. We've got Wales versus Argentina at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff. The England versus Canada game at Twickers, so Cardiff is staying dry, as is Twickers for that England versus Canada game. Unfortunately, the Romania versus Scotland game was cancelled due to COVID, but Ireland will be playing the States at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin, cloudy and dry in Dublin for the rugby. Here we go, Dublin gets a sticker. And then the Lions Tour, that's going to be played in Pretoria, sunny day at Loftus Versfield for the Bulls versus British and Irish Lions. And then the Peddlers are on their stage 14, which is Carcassonne to Quillen, sunny and sticky for that on Saturday. Sorry, I've been chatting away and my voice is getting dry. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. So Sunday then, finishing up on that Wimbledon. It's always so sad, the end of Wimbledon. So we'll see what happens with that men's singles tournament on Sunday. Could be Djokovic and Feds for that one, and then the boys and girls finals, singles and doubles, and they're also going to have to play the ladies doubles, the mixed doubles final, the wheelchair singles final, and the men's wheelchair doubles final. They've got a lot to fit in over that weekend. It's overcast on Sunday, but 24% chance of rain, so it's staying dry at Wimbledon on Sunday, which is nice because you don't want all that start-stopping. 23 degrees, low of 15. Football, that final, honestly, Sunday, there's not going to be enough hours in the day for all the sport on Sunday. We've got that final on Sunday. Here's hoping maybe England will get into that on Sunday. And then the cricket, that Ireland versus South Africa, that's going to be played in Dublin, the Malahide Cricket Club ground. It's going to be cloudy and dry. I'm just imagining everybody's like watching one thing, watching another thing, and then on the phone watching another three things. And then the golf, North Berwick staying dry. Lovely day for that golf on Sunday. And then those two stateside tournaments, Illinois drying up, but Ohio is staying quite rainy and cloudy. And then we've got Summer International Twickers, which is the tradition at this time of year. England versus USA, cloudy, 48% chance of rain. And then we've got the continuation of that cycling. The wheels just keep turning on the Tour de France for at stage 15, which is Serré to Andorra la Vella. So they're dropping down and into Andorra on Sunday, sunny and sticky, high of 31, low of 19. So that's it, guys. That's my weather roundup for the week. I hope you've enjoyed it again, and I hope our radio pals have enjoyed it. I haven't used the map too much today, but maybe we'll get a little bit more map action going next week. So that's it from me. Thanks very much again for tuning in, and it's back over to you, Danielle. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Brit Fogland, looking beautiful as ever, doing our weather update. So that has been Channel 69 News for you. I hope you've enjoyed it this week, and I hope you join us next week. But sorry, we've got a message coming in from Delboy. Oh.
Gary?
It certainly is coming home. Now remember, guys, here at Channel 69 News, if you're aiming for that pink, do not hit the brown. Good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you've been watching. Take care, everyone.